Do you think 2K is focused on making a good product or making money?
I don't think they're ever focused on making a good product.
I think in 2024, it's only making money.
It's just money. If there was any realm of their mind paying attention to making a good game, you would see the move way different.
I think it's a combination of both. But also, there's a bottom line. There's also, stuff you have to do to make money.
The people at the top, I think, are certainly focused on making as much money as possible.
I think there's different teams focused on different things, and I think the majority of their teams are focused on making money.
I think that they're focused on both. What they kind of lack is a competitor right now. And if they had a competitor, I think they would focus more on making it a good product.
Nowadays, like, they can kind of do whatever they want, get away with whatever they want because there's no competition. There's no, like, repercussions for their actions. I can't blame them, but it is what it is.
NBA 2K, the game we all used to love, but now it's the game we all love to hate. Any idea why? It's got to be the egregious microtransactions, the constant advertisement stuffed in your face every time you open a game mode, or the antics that the company itself are up to. All of these are extremely sound reasons to despise the game, and I wouldn't blame you for even thinking any of these reasons are the culprit. But I regret to inform you, you couldn't be any more wrong. One of the biggest problems plaguing the 2K community is not being able to diagnose the actual reason we hate NBA 2K. It's no secret that NBA 2K has pushed us as consumers to buy into the most invasive microtransactions of all time, sold us an unfinished product on an annual basis, and at times completely lied to us.
My understanding is that you can completely rebuild your guy. Gameplay is going to be so different from what it is today to then that it's not even, that.
But let's take a deeper dive and show the real reason why you don't like 2K.
Would you ever play 2K without buying VC?
No, you can't. You're gonna get torched.
Oh, no chance.
Oh, hell no.
Personally, as a YouTuber, I would never do that.
I'm doing it right now, and let me tell you, if it wasn't my job,
I think after playing 2K for like 10 plus years, I might not. But if I'm just a basketball fan and I've never played 2K before, I probably would.
There's no chance, like ever.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about this the other day. My IRLs, like, they literally can't play like Park with me because they don't have a build, and like they're not gonna spend $70, $50 to $70 for like 85 or 90 overall or something like that.
Now, as a YouTuber, I do buy VC the first day of the game every single year because I need to make my content. I need to upload my videos. I need to get gameplay. I need to stream, because otherwise, if I didn't do that, I'd be a 60 overall. Wouldn't be able to show off really anything.
if you were working a full-time job or going to school full-time and trying to play the game with no VC, it's almost impossible. I mean, I would consider myself definitely above average in terms of skill. If you were average or below average trying to play on a 60-something overall and you don't have people to play with who are also very good at the game to like help you grind that VC, the amount of time it would take is insane. Even for someone like me, like, this shit is like hard on the mentals. Like, this is a grind.
Honestly, if you're in the park, I mean, you might be able to get away with like a couple of dubs here, but it's never gonna be like long-term fun. Like, you're always gonna run into the same problem, like, oh, I can't do that because I don't have upgrades.
I didn't buy VC for years. I bought VC this year because of the player market. I bought VC last year when I could directly buy some players for videos. But other than that, like, if I wasn't making content, I would never spend a cent on VC in this game.
It wouldn't be fair to talk about microtransactions without explaining the history of them and how it's even come this far. So for starters, what is a microtransaction? A purchase that players can make within a game using real money. You can obtain special items, in-game currency, or other cosmetic items. Seems pretty simple, right? The first actual microtransaction in gaming dates all the way back to 2006 when Bethesda's, man, that's hard to say. When Bethesda's Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion released the Horse Armor Pack for only $2.50, which nowadays seems like absolutely nothing, but back then the world was in shock. Consumers laughed at the idea of people paying extra money for a cosmetic item. Now would you look where we are almost 2 decades later. Over the years, we've seen some of the most egregious microtransactions. GTA 5 Online had a gold-plated plane worth over 10 million in-game dollars, which for a time was the most expensive item in the game. For the ones who don't understand, 10 million in GTA is about $130 in real world currency. But it doesn't just stop there. Even less popular games like 2020's Train Simulator, if added up all the DLCs in that game, it amounted to a whopping $9,605. Our own NBA 2K18 wasn't even safe from the Midas touch. You used to have to pay 1,500 VC every time for a haircut. So it makes you ask, why? Why do these companies go to these lengths to get every last dollar out of you? Well, it's because they can. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. But is there a such thing as a good microtransaction? What are some games that do microtransactions the right way? We've got games like Fortnite. We've got maybe there aren't many good examples. So you're probably asking, Batch, if it's such a bad practice, why do companies still do it? In fiscal year of 2023, EA made approximately $4.3 billion in 2022. Activision Blizzard generated over $5.7 billion. Take-Two Interactive made about $1.9 billion in 2022, making up about 64% of their revenue for that year. Look at games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Rainbow Six Siege, Grand Theft Auto 5, all games that have launched over 5 years ago but still top the charts in terms of popularity and relevance. At some point, you have to realize it's no coincidence that these games mentioned are riddled with microtransactions, some even in your face as soon as you launch the game. How have games transcended from a small $2 horse DLC to being greeted with bundles and currency deals at the main menu? Among all of these games mentioned, NBA 2K has to be the proud student of the gaming industry. They have played their hand in almost all the sales tactics that most of these companies will try, even the more intrusive ones. For all the people watching at home, try this. Launch 2K right now and count how long it'll take to see any sort of microtransaction or in-game purchase. It's likely you saw one as soon as you loaded into the main menu. Now let's try another one. Right now in the comment section, comment down if you have purchased at least $50 worth of microtransactions. For everyone watching, go look at how common this is. Now let's do some quick math. NBA 2K Standard Edition, depending on your region, is about $70. If you've spent money on one build alone, you've contributed about $120 to this franchise. Now most of you may not see this as a big issue, but let me remind you that NBA 2K comes out with a new product every year. And unlike a Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Apex Legends, you cannot take any of your previous purchases or unlocks with you. This is the main issue when it comes to NBA 2K. They don't even notice that this is one of the main reasons this company fails in the perception or public opinion. So what is 2K? Many of you on the channel may know about the business side of 2K from my news videos on the topics, but I want to explain it in more detail for the ones who don't know how deep this corporate greed goes. For the ones that don't know, like many companies, video games operate in subsidiaries. NBA 2K is a game developed by Visual Concepts and published by Take-Two Interactive. There's a good chance you've heard that name thrown around the industry before. For the ones living under a rock, TTI is the leading game publisher in the industry, famous for games like the record-breaking Grand Theft Auto franchise and our very own NBA 2K. Two great franchises famous for putting out corporate mediocrity at a comfortable level these past 5 years. Now really just think about what I said, mediocrity for the last 5 years. And I believe this started around 2K21, prehistoric gen. It was destined to fail when the only way you could move quickly was by quote-unquote speed glitching. Then 2K21 Next Gen came out. That was unbelievably overhyped. I mean, this was the next generation of consoles. Literally, creators thought this game was going to change their lives, and it came out to an actual disaster, with the game moving at incredibly low frames for weeks, by the way, and the build system being busted, because if you made anything other than a 6'7" power forward, you were putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. And of course, once the game already came out, 2K couldn't do anything about that. I mean, you can't just take away people's builds, which, you know, they do from time to time. These two games were the beginning of the end, in my opinion. But this didn't mean they already weren't doing insanely scummy things to us, like wheeling out that little spineless, monotone, should-be grabbing rebounds freak, Ronnie 2K, to tell us it's not the same neighborhood, but you can think what you want.
That's not the neighborhood, but you guys can think whatever you want.
Lying to every single person's face so he could stay at his job while telling us we could get respecking on our players, knowing good and well what he was saying. Meanwhile, the game came out with the same neighborhood and no respecting your player. It was so bad that Ronnie2K has lying compilations made of him on YouTube. And keep in mind, this was like the face of the game for a while. This was the community manager, whatever you wanted to call him. He was the guy that talked to all the celebrities, and this is your face. A liar, a known liar. It's disgusting, and we're so far gone from the company that had to compete. And it's obvious now after NBA Live is gone that the only reason they put in any effort before was for profit.
Back when we had a competition with Live, and I don't think of any other games, but there's probably some other ones out there that competed with 2K. Like even just Fortnite and 2K18, they're like, all right, we got to step it up. 2K19 was a pretty solid game. Nowadays, like they can kind of do whatever they want, get away with whatever they want because there's no competition. There's no like repercussions for their actions. I can't blame them, but it is what it is.
What they kind of lack is a competitor right now. And if they had a competitor, I think they would focus more on making it a good product. But I think obviously like from a business standpoint, you got to care about the money and then the product as well.
No passion for basketball, no love of the game, only profit and to compete. Now that that's gone, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, it's good. We don't have NBA Live anymore. We don't have to make anything good, just barely serviceable enough for people to enjoy it for a few months. Get them just hyped up to buy the game and we're gone.
I remember 24. I just remember I remember playing. I was like, dude, like of course I don't play, so I'm not the best anymore. I was like, yo, there's not one move that I can do or I've seen anyone do that's like, yo, I really want to learn how to do this. You know, and it's like I remember sitting in my core with people and I was like, I gotta learn how to do this.
I think my team is the worst Ultimate Team mode in sports gaming. It's gotten to the stage where I'm getting like, I have friends in all the other communities. Like I have friends in the FIFA community, I have friends in Madden community, where I'm getting messages from them being like, I didn't realize how bad my team was. You're screwed. And these are guys that like you would have talked to in previous years and would have thought my team was better than their game mode. But now it's at the stage where like they're even coming and playing. They're like logging into my team and saying this is terrible and not playing it anymore.
Let's shift gears for 1 second to discuss gaming's biggest release ever in the last 2 decades. Grand Theft Auto 6. A game that isn't even out yet, already projected to outsell the last game, which 10 years ago broke sales records with relative ease and helped set up a marketing method that would rake in cash for big time publishers for decades to come. So how does NBA 2K fit into all of this? That's the problem. They don't. The current state of NBA 2K is riddled with microtransactions and pay-to-win mechanics. Does anyone remember when 2K was just about basketball? Now we have all these battle passes, VC bundles, clothing brands, ads on every court or the city. The franchise that ushered in creators like Chris Move, Troydan, Agent Zero, Pretty Boy Fredo all look at the company with resentment and distrust. Even though all of these creators made a living on this game, it's got to make you think, what does a game have to do to make these people turn away? I mean, I'm not sure how many people have been watching the recent news videos, but 2K24, Kobe Bryant on the cover, right? RIP. They used in a recent Kobe card drama as the #1 card collection on my team that people spent thousands of not only dollars, but hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours of playing the game to get this one specific card for getting so many cards collected. And then the day before they were able to earn it, it was gone. I'm not kidding if you didn't see this. You actually had to. There was no way to get all these cards without spending a lot of money and a lot of hours into the game, and then they just took away this card right before players could get it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but my friend said the 100 overall cards says less than 2% chance or something like that, but legally they're able to do that, although it's not even actually around 2%. It's actually like 0.5% or something like that.
Yeah, it's way under 0.5%. They've done things in the past where their odds, back in 2K21, the odds stopped at 95 overalls, so every single odd just said 100%. They've never been accurate with the odds. Like, all they legally have to do is show odds. They're legally okay once they show that there is a 100% chance of getting a card.
That's just insane because, you know, obviously people that are spending money are wanting that 100 overall, and it says less than 2, but like how many people actually know it's less than 2%, like even less than 1%? Like there's probably at least a decent amount that don't know, right?
I think there's a decent amount that don't even know how to find, that you can find the odds, to be honest. You actually have to click into the pack before you find the odds. So like you can misclick and buy the pack pretty much, or be in a position to buy the pack in the same while you're searching for odds. Like,
Wow. Then you can talk about the Battle Pass, where you can buy levels now. And yes, 2K doesn't really have anything pay to win in it now, but most of us know this is probably a slippery slope where 2K is just testing the waters, and in the future, they will most likely add pay to win mechanics and stuff, animations, whatever you can think of in this, because they know people are going to buy it. Like, yeah, they introduced it and people were upset, but then we can see from the earnings after the game came out that people are buying them. The removal of the auction house in my team, I mean, that is literally what made the mode, and it's gone now. It's all gambling to get the best cards is what a lot of people say. I'm not really in the My Team community, but from what I've seen, to get any of the really good cards, you have to gamble basically to get them.
Like, I know people don't like me saying it because I say it a lot on Twitter, but like, it is, for some people, it is an addiction.
Yeah.
Like, they obviously can reel people in with certain things, but like, you're opening packs a lot of the time, especially now in My Team, whereas you used to be able to at least argue like, okay, if I wasn't buying MT, I'm opening packs because I could get all the cards, I could sell them, and then I could buy somebody. Oh, like, for example, if they wanted Yao, they'd have to open a bunch of packs, sell the cards in packs, and then go and get Yao. But now it's literally a case of you are opening packs with no guarantee of getting anything. 100 overall LeBron. You could spend 10,000 on the 100 overall LeBron. And in years past, you could at least sell everything you spent and buy the 100 overall LeBron. Now you just can't get it. So for the people that are continuously opening packs, like, likely gone to the stage where it's an addiction more than anything.
The rewards aren't even decent in most people's eyes. I would say 95, maybe even more out of 100. Look at these rewards that we're getting in Park. These rewards are terrible. I mean, actually horrible. I said before 2K24 came out, what 2K should do exactly from start to finish with the rewards, especially for the rep system, right? Where we have plus, 3 to your playmaking, plus 3 to your shooting, whatever it is. I said, give us attributes, but they've got to unlock animations, badges. They got to take you from 82 ball handle to 85. And now once you hit that 85 threshold, it can make you speed boost. It can give you these escape moves that you weren't able to unlock. They didn't do that. They're literally just attributes that we don't even actually know if they work. Like, yeah, you go to look at your build and it says +3, whatever, but how do you know? How do you actually know? How do you even trust 2K that those work? I mean, it's just insane, bro. Just listen to us.
I think fast and fun is always gonna be better than simulation in a video game. I know 2K is a basketball, video game, but I think the way they've kind of broken down, like, I sound like a broken record right now. I haven't said this in a while though. So, I think breaking down the dribbling and taking away the moves, momentum, behind the back spin, speed boosting, arc size up there are really good. I think that hurts significantly more than it helps. Just for the fact that, it's an arcade game. Like, Park is arcadey, no one goes to the Park and necessarily plays 3v3 full court,
Yeah.
That's not like a realistic thing, so it's about fun. And the games that had dribbling and a skill gap and people wanting to stay up all night learning how to do each move are the games that had the most fun.
So for a little under a decade, NBA 2K has had a pretty repetitive cycle. I mean, the average player, you pay $70 for the game. You load up and pay another $50 just to upgrade, and that's, to an 85 overall. You might go even higher than that, but now you're a little short of some VC. So you drop another 20 on VC, and you get some animations and maybe one good outfit, and just like that, you load into the Park and get to playing. Sounds pretty simple, right? Now, how about we talk about the other version of NBA 2K that many people don't even know about? After spending $70 on the game, you want to try playing online. So you load in and decide to play on your default player. Nope, you can't get a game because the way the game works, nobody wants to play with a 60 overall brown shirt. So what do? You change clothes, right? Yeah, that's not looking like a valid option. Well, I guess you could go back to the Park and try to find a game. So after about 20 minutes of scrounging for a game, you finally get into a game. You lost 22-0 and only touched the ball once. You missed. So now really, no one wants to hop on the court with you. So what else do you play? I guess you got My Career. After fighting through a million cutscenes and whatnot, you finally get subbed in. You got absolutely no progress on your bar. And just in case you guys think I'm such a privileged player because I create content, well, here you go. I've documented from start to finish what it's like grinding a player from 60 to 99 overall without spending money on VC. And without spoiling anything, just know this is by far the hardest game to gain VC in. It took me almost an entire month just to amount what someone can get with $100. And it doesn't stop there. That's not to mention player boosts, Gatorade, and other animations that have to be paid for. All that stuff really does add up. We live in an era of gaming where you cannot even play the game online without spending money.
Roughly how much VC did it cost to max out one of your My players, if you remember? Like 60 all the way to 99.
This is like an estimate, so I would say probably about 500K?
I believe it's between like I think around 400,000 VC, I think.
I think it costs like above 600,000. I'm pretty sure. It's
Probably like 400K, 450, something like around that ballpark range.
I think 375,000 VC.
It ranges depending on your build because obviously certain stats cost more. So I'd say it ranges from 348 to 392,000.
But I already know what you're saying. What about my team?
It is a serious amount of money that is being spent on this game mode. Like in Park, imagine in Park what people are spending. There are my team guys spending that almost every week. A year worth of Park. They'd be spending, like there are some guys spending in the multiple hundreds a week. Like it's their jobs, that's what their viewers are there for. So I'm not putting the blame on those guys for that, for doing that. Like
I say all that to tell you guys, the main problem plaguing 2K is not just the microtransactions. It's the fact that the player base is so divided, not just between current gen and next gen, but 2K is selling you two different products. 2K is an unplayable game on both platforms if you choose not to buy into any microtransactions. And even if you don't do that, it's gonna take you so much time to get where someone could just drop $100 and they are already there. But the biggest offender of all of this is the fact that no matter which route you go, you can't keep it. Your grind means nothing. In an industry where most games are now letting you transfer years of progress, NBA 2K is still not letting you keep any of your hard-earned grind and still twice as expensive. So I'm sure you're asking, Badge Plug, why should we care? Which is a super fair question, because to be 100% honest with you guys, I ask myself the same thing every week, but it all gets very simple when you think of the franchise that we used to enjoy. Everyone loves NBA 2K16. Maybe like 20% of people watching this weren't even old enough to have experienced that game though. I mean, everyone at home just well, never mind. I guess you would never know. Physical media is one of the most controversial topics when it comes to gaming, and 2K is one of the worst offenders of that. Not only do the servers for every 2K game shut off after 2 years, but 90% of the franchise isn't able to be purchased. In a world where people are so heavily opinionated, it's almost impossible to please a mass audience. Think of Call of Duty, for example. If you don't like the newest game, you don't have to play it. Right now, you can play any Call of Duty game you want online or offline. When it comes to 2K, all you have is a couple hundred Pretty Boy Fredo videos and a Chris Move My Career series.
If every creator could go back and post any 2K, like all the servers came on tomorrow, right, and they stayed on, do you think the community would be in a better place?
I think so, because there's like a little bit of a I think so, because I think there's like legacy games, right?
I mean, the content would definitely be flowing in. I feel like after like a little bit, folks will probably just gravitate whatever has the most people on it. Happy? I mean, yeah, folks will be happy maybe for like a month.
Initially, there would be a lot of excitement, yeah. There'd be a quick realization that all of the nostalgia we have for those past games, there was just as much quote-unquote wrong with those games as there is with whatever current 2K we're playing.
I don't think it would change anything just simply because of like rosters, or like if you're just talking about Park. I could see people going back and playing them, but like, do people go back and play like old Call of Duties that much? Like they might go back once in a while, but I don't think they would like consistently go back to play older 2Ks.
I'm gonna say yes. Like much better might be a little crazy, but like it would be better. Like just having that option to like go back and play like Black Ops 2 is kind of cool. Like some people like that, but I don't think it would be like drastic, but yeah, I mean, it would be cool.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the best content in the 2K community is like well behind us. Like we had all of AMP come up. We had like the My Team era with like Jesser, Cash, OSN. Like
if they were always on, I wonder if that's true. But if they just cut on like now, like I think it definitely would give a boost, because it's like there's like legacy games, like, you know, the whole community loves 17. So I think if people could go on and play 20, 17, and then my personal favorite 16 and 15, I think people would gravitate towards that. Yeah.
So why do games get delisted? It can be for numerous reasons, but most of the time when a game is made, whether it has certain music or brands, they have to pay for a license. Once that license is up, the company has to pay to renew it. This is why even the most popular games such as Grand Theft Auto never use real life brands in their video games. When it comes to music, it's mostly the same. Even older games like GTA San Andreas Remastered have plenty of songs from the original game removed, which definitely compromised the overall feel and nostalgia factor that the game had. So when you think of 2K, every game has hundreds of clothing brands and a bunch of songs. Do the math. They don't want to pay to keep the servers up, and they won't pay to renew any of their licenses for their old games. 2K has come to a point where they'd much rather focus on making as much money as possible rather than focus on making sure players are happy. Ultimately, you gotta wonder where all of this is headed. How far will 2K take it? Will we go back to getting fully pay-to-win mechanics? Will 2K eventually bring back the auction house? Will the VC prices finally be reduced? That sad answer is probably no. As we all know, 2K is the leading only AAA basketball game in the market, and it's looking to stay that way for the foreseeable future. So what can we, as the consumers, do to get in between 2K and their invasive corporate tactics? Sadly, the answer is as simple as speaking with our wallets. It's no secret whether the community likes 2K24 or not. No one enjoys the constant microtransactions forced into this game. Even when 2K games come out unfinished and a mess at launch, the store will always be one of the first things working. Changes like this won't just happen overnight, and it definitely won't affect 2K25. But the first step to creating change is at least knowing what you want to change. All of us want this franchise to be just like the old days, and the only way that can happen is if we can get 2K to prioritize us and not the shareholders. Everyone in the comment section be 100% honest. If you enjoyed playing NBA 2K just like the old days, if the servers always worked, if the game didn't need a million patches in the first month, you wouldn't mind paying for microtransactions. But here we are in a gaming world where most of these highly successful games are riddled with microtransactions just like 2K.
Do you think NBA 2K24 is a good product?
Can I be like in the middle?
Is it a good product?
I haven't played enough to be able to tell you. I'd be like lying if I give it an answer at all, you know?
It's so like based off of your own individual
Like how you see it, you know?
Exactly. Like
I feel like it's okay. Like it's not ass. I feel like last year was really bad. I don't know. Like I
Okay.
feel last year was really bad. I feel like this year is a step up, but it's not like any of the previous ones that we had, like 17, 16, 17, 8, not 18. 18 is crazy.
No.
Personally, for me, yes, it's a genuine consensus. Like online, like if you post a TikTok saying 2K24 is good, or if you say 2K24 is good on a badge plug video,
Yeah.
you know, it's like a trend to hate on 2K. So people are going to disagree with you.
Okay, for me personally, yes, simply for one reason, and that was Comp Pro Am. This year, Comp Pro Am was so much fun for me for 4 or 5 months that I really played it, playing against 2K League teams, playing against, you know, top players for tons of money on a night in, night out basis. Yes, I enjoyed that thoroughly, and the ability to be able to enjoy that came through NBA 2K24.
Do you think NBA 2K24 is a good product?
Yes.
Yes, NBA 2K24's two main game modes, as far as microtransactions are concerned, in my team and my player, are terrible. I think My Eras is the best franchise mode in any sports. I think the My Career Story, while some people aren't that into it, is still light years ahead of what any other sports game has. I think Play Now Online is okay. I think it plays fine. I think as a product, NBA 2K24 is, but I think there are just the two main aspects for online players are two of the worst in gaming.
If you're not spending microtransactions and you can like actually play the game and you're just a basketball fan, I'd say yeah. If you're trying to play Park or my team, I'd say no. The fact that you have variety, that makes it a good product in my eyes. But the malicious microtransactions make it not a good product.
There's just so many things we could talk about, guys. That's it. I don't really know, man. You guys let me know how you feel, but it's not looking good for us, and it hasn't been for a long time. I'm out. Peace.